Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern Pizza Hut fast food restaurant. This Pizza Hut includes an extensive outside area, a kitchen, multiple seating areas, a salad bar, ice cream machine, and last but not least, a bathroom. Please do remember to hit that like button if you like the look of this build, as it really helps me and the channel out, and it helps other people see this video. But without any further ado, let's get started. This is how much space is required to make your modern Pizza Hut, a 31 by 27 block area, as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which I would always urge you to make if you are planning out your world. Here are all of the materials that we will be using throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. Step 1, come all the way over to the front left hand corner of your grid, if you've made it, and count backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then to the right 1, 2, 3. Begin by placing a row of 6 grey concrete going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend back by 2, 1, 2, and then place 2 glass going right, 1, 2, specifically the black stained glass pane. Then, right of this, place a black concrete, 2 more glass, black concrete, 2 more glass, black concrete. Then, from this black concrete, extend backwards and place 2 more glass, black concrete, 2 more glass, black concrete, a single glass, leave a gap, then place a grey concrete, extend it forwards and backwards, and then to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can extend the whole thing to the right by 5 if you like. Now, taking a look back at what we've just made, we want to not take this end corner block of grey concrete, but the one in front of it. Extend to the right by 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then forwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to extend inwards a block. Place a black concrete going right. 2 glass, 1, 2. And then place 3 black concrete, 1, 2, 3. Then place a grey concrete on the end, extend towards you, and then right. The end result of which should look, if we take a look at it from the sky, like this, which is one of the more abstract floor plans that I think that we have ever had. So now that we've got this, we can start piecing together the structure of the build, because that is a little bit crazy. So what we're going to do is begin by joining all of the grey concrete here together at the front of the build, and we're going to form a solid shape like we did on the back. We are going to add 9 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rows on top of all of the grey concrete rectangle that we have on the ground. We'll also be doing this for the back as well. Not only does this shape kind of break the build up a little bit, because sometimes builds are a little bit boring when they're all at one particular level, or if you use all just one material. Sometimes if you just throw just a random shape in there, and if you just make it like a different color, this works very well in modern builds themselves. If you throw a random shape in there with a completely different color for a bit of contrast, then it can help just to make the build a little bit more eye-catching and a little bit more interesting, which is what the grey concrete achieves for us. So at the back as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there we go. So from here, let's extend up. So an equal amount to the front. It is very equivalent. It's actually very similar in the fact that we are going to be placing a little bit of branding on this as well. We're going to be doing the Pizza Hut logo, which is of course the red hat, or I do believe, I want to say sombrero, but I don't know if that's even correct. It kind of looks like one, but I might be wrong. But regardless of that, we're going to extend this all the way up to the top. And then I suppose that whilst we are in this area, we will kind of like finish off these two kind of like giant grey monolithic pillars that we've made. So on top of the grey concrete, we're going to add some smooth quartz slabs like this. Perfect. And then in the middle of the row of 6 that we have, we want to drop down one row first of all, and we want to place a row of 2 red concrete in the middle. Extend the row of 2 red concrete down, and then extend it out left and right by 1. Then, carving into the grey concrete, I'm going to, underneath the red concrete, destroy and replace using black concrete, like this. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So again, adding a little bit of recognizability, hopefully. We're also going to write Pizza Hut on it, just in case people don't know what this is. So on the front, same thing. So middle 2 blocks, drop down a row, add a couple of red concretes, same underneath, extend them out, and then destroy underneath that, and replace it using black concrete. So this is the end result so far. We're going to tackle the front first of all. So, the black concretes that we have kind of everywhere, we're going to extend up by 3. 1, 2, 3 like this. We're also going to join them together and to the grey concrete pillars. So, however you would like to extend them up and then to the surrounding area of your Pizza Hut is up to you. So, as long as you end up with this, everything's good. So then, on top of your black concrete, we want to add 2 rows of red concrete. So this is literally just directly on top of it like this. So 2 rows of red on top of the 1 row of black. And then we want to place 2 rows of dark oak planks on top of the 2 rows of red, like this. And then we're going to add a row of smooth quartz slab, like this, to kind of just blend it into the 2 sides. We also want to make this area a little bit more interesting, so in front of the top row of red concrete, we're going to add a row of black concrete. I actually do also like it how it was, by the way, so, you know, take that into account on when we're doing this, whether you like it one way or another. And then we're going to add a couple of rows of polished blackstone slabs. So these polished blackstone slabs are going to extend around the top of the horizontal row of black concrete that we have slightly below us. And we're going to extend the black slabs outwards at least 1 row, but I'm thinking 2. I'm thinking that we extend it outwards so that it supersedes the grey concrete that we have surrounding it, just like this. There we go. And then we're going to use polished blackstone wool to give the appearance that it is kind of like supported from the black concrete area just up above. The blackstone wool can get placed pretty evenly. If you place 1 in the corner and then leave a gap of 4 and then place a wall, then that will leave a gap of 4 between the grey concrete there. The same thing should work on this side as well. So if you just leave a gap of 4, then it's spaced rather evenly. The only thing that bothers me is it doesn't line up with the windows because it's... well, I mean, it just doesn't, but I would prefer it to be like halfway in between this red area here than for it to like line up with the window. That's a little bit of minutia that doesn't matter at all, actually, but anyway. So now that we have done that, we're going to join the windows upwards. So we've got a bunch of windows on the ground level already, and we're simply just going to fill them in with glass pane, just like this. So I of course chose black stained glass pane because we're kind of going with a dark colour palette for our modern Pizza Hut, and it just really worked. So, we're also going to destroy underneath... okay, so, first of all, actually, we've got a doorway here, so this is just going to be a couple of extra glass panes with my favourite decoration for a door. End rod in front of glass always just looks like one of those pull doors or push doors. It usually tells you on the door, but for some reason whenever I try it I always get the wrong thing. Like if I'm going to open one of those doors, I always try pushing instead of pulling, or pulling instead of pushing. They're so difficult. The sign should be bigger. So, now that we have done that, we are going to come towards the back of the build now. And on the back of the build, we are going to raise up, first of all, we can pretty much raise up the entire area of dark oak planks. So the dark oak planks want to be raised up as high as the dark oak wood planks that we have on the opposite side of the build. I don't have a measurement for you off the top of my head, but if you just kind of look at your opposite side of the build and make sure that it is the same height, then we can forego any sort of counting. I kind of want to guess though. So on top of the original row, I'm guessing that we would add a row of, I want to say 6. So I kind of want to count that out. I don't know why. No, it's got to be more than 6. Is it 7? I'm going to go 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, it was 7, so 7 rows higher. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So what we then want to do is, now that we've extended that area up, we're going to join the top of the area to the front of the build, and we're going to have 2 rows of dark oak wood planks at the top, just like this. Then we are going to add a row of black concrete underneath, followed by a row of red concrete, and then we're going to join the 3 black concretes that we have just down below here. We're going to extend them up, including this little one on the side here. And then we're going to extend the glass up on the left and the right, just like this. Then we're going to place smooth quartz slabs on top of the remaining dark oak wood plank area, just like this. And that's perfect. What do we want to do for the roof, ladies and gentlemen? It's kind of up to you. You can pick any colour, really. Unless we make the roof the ceiling, or the ceiling the roof. I'm considering grey concrete, but also I'm also considering wood as well. I might go for wood. I think I'm going to go for a wooden ceiling, and I'm going to set this 1 row down from the actual surrounding area. This doesn't matter too much. Reason being is because we're going to add some grey concrete inside later on anyway, so this is really just for whoever may be taking a peek at the roof of this thing. Because of course there's no telling where you're going to be placing this. You could be placing this in the lower part of your city, and perhaps people will be able to see this from, oh no, perhaps one of your modern apartment complexes that you've made tutorials on the channel. So it's always nice to have like a little bit of, well, contrast isn't the right word really, because it kind of just blends in, but I do like the dark oak. But you could go with something else anyway. So, now that we have done that, the next job for us is going to be to kind of like decorate the outside a little bit. There is quite a bit to do on this front. It's very simple stuff, but there is a good chunk of the outside to make. So we're going to use smooth stone, terracotta, white concrete, podzol, lime terracotta, green terracotta, smooth stone slabs, azure bluettes, and azaleas. So, first of all, we're going to add a pathway. This is going to be 2 rows of smooth stone that leads all the way out from the entrance all the way to the front of the build. So just like this. So this is kind of like the straight shot from the actual entrance all the way to the front of the build, just like this. So that's perfect. So the next thing that we might even extend this an additional row outwards. I'm starting to think that we might extend this a little row outwards, because it's cool and all, it being... I think that we might extend it outwards, and then that way it lines up with the path a little bit. So just a little slight alteration here, ladies and gentlemen. I would like it if this particular part of the build here, if we just extended it out, and then it's a bit more equivalent to the front of the build as well. I mean, it makes it a little bit thicker, but that's perfectly fine. It doesn't really matter. So let's just add this here, 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 and then an extra row of smooth stone slabs. So there we go. It's a little bit thicker, but it doesn't matter whatsoever. And you can see that just lines up a little bit better, right? So, excellent. So, now that that's extended outwards, where were we? So, let's take this entire row of materials out again, and we can continue on. So, I want to make a path. So, this path, or path, is going to be in front of these windows at the front of your modern Pizza Hut. It's going to be 2 rows wide like this, and then we're going to also continue this path. It's going to be 2 rows in thickness, and it's going to lead all the way to the outer boundary of your Pizza Hut, just like this. We should really construct a wall for Pizza Hut at this point, but I guess we'll do that in just a second. So we're also going to extend the smooth stone path outwards towards the outer boundary as well. So to that outer boundary and to the front boundary is what I should say. We are then going to add 2 solid rows of smooth stone directly in front of the build. This will join to a pavement, if you like, or wherever it is you may be building your modern Pizza Hut. Perhaps you don't have a pavement. That's up to you. I'm realizing that also we have to destroy just the white concrete on this little side, but luckily we ended up here anyway, so that's perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to actually let's come to the right side because it will make things a little bit easier. So on this right side here, we are going to dig a double row wide 1, 2, 3, 4. My bad. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are going to dig a double row of 7 wide trench on the right side of the build, and we're going to fill it with pods on. Why did we do that? So the whole point of that is that we are going to extend a row of terracotta backwards, and we want to actually join it to not this first grey concrete, not the second. You might have thought it was going to be the second. It's the third. So like this. And boom. There we go. So we want to have a wall that joins all the way to the third grey concrete block. Just like this. And it's a double row terracotta wall like so. And we're going to have... We need leaves. We don't have any leaves on us. I guess we'll grab those in a second. Anyway. In between this path that we have here on the left and in between the path that we have here on the right, we want to have 2 rows of podzol. Just like this. So, actually, I think it's 4 rows of podzol. I do believe. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 rows of podzol. Like this. And we kind of want a similar thing on the right, so starting from the end here, like the first row of podzol, if we move through the path, we want to have a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. And then we're going to destroy another row in front of this. And then we're going to destroy a 1 row shorter row. And then a 1 row shorter still, if that makes sense. And we're going to fill this in with podzol as well. So, like so. Then, on the edge of this shape, we're going to, on the second row of the 6, we're going to add a smooth stone slab, extend forwards, left, forwards, left, and we're going to stick some azure bluettes behind the curve that we've created with these smooth stone slabs. And then here on the left side, we're going to place azaleas. So in each one of the 4 corners of the area that we've made. And also in the middle of the area that we've made. So the end result is a slightly varied kind of like garden section of our modern Pizza Hut. It's just made to look a little bit nice. And in front of these areas as well, we want to take the width of the podzol areas, we want to destroy to the outer boundary, and we're going to replace the areas that we have created using a mixture of lime terracotta. So it actually goes like this. We want to have a row of green terracotta at the front, and then 2 rows of lime terracotta extending backwards like this, and then a row of green terracotta. And then finally, there's just 1 block that should be left, which is this one, which we're going to make lime terracotta. So perfect. On the right side here, we have a row of podzol that sticks out from the wall. We're going to extend this all the way backwards and into the grey concrete area for our modern Pizza Hut. Then we can stick a terracotta here as well. And then we have to make some car parking spaces. This is relatively easy. If we start from the front here, we're going to leave a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3, white concrete. 1, 2, 3, white concrete. 1, 2, 3, white concrete here. And the white concretes want to extend out, and they want to be equal in width to the podzol. So destroy here, place some white concrete, destroy here, place some white concrete, just like this. Then, if we come all the way over to the left, we also want to create some car parking spaces. So, if you start on the left side, we want to have a row of white concrete, then we'll leave a gap of 3, and then we'll have yet another row of white concrete, just like this. And then we also want to create a wall on this side of the build. This is going to be, I think we're going to just simply make it a double row of terracotta, and we'll join it like this. So 2 rows of terracotta extending on the front, it's going to extend back and then join in, and it's just going to join to this particular part here. And there we go. So let's take a look. So this might seem as though that we've maybe not done too much, but we've actually done a huge amount of the build now, especially the outside. So on this left side here, I mean, we could even go as far as, if we wanted to, just making this, like, we could join the wall to here, so that, like, nobody could actually just get by. But I guess we could make it so that people could, like, walk through as well. Like, I suppose that we don't have to make it so that this wall is like a dead end of sorts. I guess we could just have a little bit of a pathway extending as well. If we turn this window into a door, then we could also have an additional entrance/exit, but I'll leave that up to you to decide, really. So underneath this window as well, because we're going to need the grey concrete now anyway, so we need a bit of a material swap. So I'm going to grab, for this next part, we'll need grey concrete, black concrete, red concrete, a loom, red banner, white dye, red dye, and underneath the window, black concrete, it's like this. And then on the right side of the build, we're going to... Oh, we also need these smooth quartz slabs. On the right side of the build, we want to have just a little bit of a sign. Do I like the sign? So the idea for the sign is it's very similar to the logo for the Pizza Hut. And the sign is basically, it's here on the right. It lines up with where the actual start of the Pizza Hut is. And it's just a couple of rows of grey concrete. I might even have it... Maybe we'll face the grey concrete the other way. It's a couple of rows of grey concrete. It extends all the way up. Probably about as high as where we have the dark oak planks. And then we'll place red concrete in front of the top 2 rows. In front of the top row. Extend a row of red concrete underneath and then out. And then grey concrete on top with then smooth quartz slab on top of that. So it's ever so slightly different to the heights of all of the other kind of like branding that we have. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that actually. So what we're going to do is, and we need a couple more materials as well. I'm sure that they'll be in the item list. Shrug. I'm sure that I'll include them in the item list, but we need some leaves, and we will also need a couple of stone pressure plates. Any sort of grey carpet would also suffice as well, preferably light grey if you are going to go that route. But we're basically just ripping up all of the grass and we're going to replace it using grey concrete. So this is of course going to form the car park area. So get all this destroyed, and this will form the car park area just like this. And it will kind of, after we have added the leaves and the pressure plates, it will kind of solidify the outside. The only thing that will remain to do is the sign, which, I mean, that's quite easy. Annoying, but quite easy. As a matter of fact, there is only one annoying letter to make in Pizza Hut, which is the P, which is... We're going to get the P out of the way, which is something that you should always do if you're going to leave on a long journey. But we can get that out of the way, and then we will be done with the outside. The outside, by the way, is actually my favourite part of this entire build. I don't know, I really like it. It's got a bigger plot than usual. Like, I usually wouldn't make anything. I wouldn't usually make the outside of one of these, like, fast food restaurants. Too crazy, but this one I just kind of like. I think it's quite nicely put together. So the banners. No, first of all, we'll do the leaves. So again, hopefully these will be in the item list, but we need some leaves and pressure plates, light grey carpet. It doesn't really matter. But the pressure plates are basically just placed on this right side. So on the end, gap of one, pressure plate, gap of one, pressure plate, gap of one, pressure plate. And then along the back here, we're going to place some oak leaves. So just this is along the back. It's just to break up the monotony of the terracotta wall. And we can even add some flowers here as well, just on the right, like this. And perfect. So there we go. That kind of makes things even nicer. We could even extend these flowers forwards as well. I don't know whether that's too much or what. It might be a little too much. I'll sit with it and I'll see. I'm starting to wonder if we could even add more hedge to the left side of the build as well. The only thing that I maybe bring the hedge in a couple of rows if we're going to do this, because I don't want it to kind of like just be randomly set in front of the terracotta. It might be too much. Again, I'll make decisions on these things a little bit later on. So let's do the sign. We can probably forego. Here we go. So difficult to destroy things now. There's got to be an easier way. I've got to like put out a channel post or something. But anyway, loom, red banners, white dye, and red dye. We are going to throw the loom down. We are going to open it up, and we are going to start the process of making the Pizza Hut sign. So the first thing that we've got to do is, with our red banners in there, we place a vertical row of white on the right side of the banner. Grab the white dye, put the red in, and then we want to make the lower half of the banner red. Grab that, put that back in, throw the red dye out, put the white back in. Place a horizontal row of white through the middle, on the top, and then a vertical row on the left. So that would be P. The next banner is going to be I. So this is a simple vertical row of white straight through the middle of the banner. Next is going to be Z. Luckily, we get to make, we only need to make one of these, but we get to use it twice. So that's a horizontal row of white on the top and the bottom, and then a vertical row, top right corner to bottom left corner. The next letter is going to be A. So this is a horizontal row of white through the top, the middle, vertical on the right, vertical on the left. Next is going to be H, so that's a vertical row of white on the left, on the right, horizontal on the bottom. Next we have to... Actually, we've skipped a letter. That's you. Hey you, that's you. That's okay. We can still keep... That's not how you make an H. So an H is a vertical row on the right, and the left, and then through the middle, not the bottom. I was getting ahead of myself. Okay, so the final letter that we've got to make is T. So T is made using tea bags, some milk. I'm joking. So a horizontal row of white across the top with a vertical row of white straight through the middle. Perfect. So we don't have any... This doesn't resemble the word Pizza Hut at the moment, but... If we come all the way up to the top of the build where we have the row or double row of dark oak wood planks, P-I-Z-Z-A space H-U-T. Perfect. Pizza Hut. You could also opt to place it on the right side here. I wouldn't, because it just makes it stand out a little bit more. So, you know, up to you. But I should point out, this is the outside done. This is fully done. Unless you want to add some cars and stuff, which you could... Oh, maybe a delivery moped would actually be a good idea. Maybe like with the Pizza Hut branding on it. That is not a bad idea. I might... Hey guys. I'm actually going to jot that idea down. That's actually pretty good. Side. And I'm going to grab some quartz bricks. Grey concrete, red concrete, light grey concrete, terracotta, light blue concrete, end rods, iron trapdoors, and smooth quartz stairs. So let's head inside, and the first thing that we are going to do in here is we're going to rip up the entire floor. We're going to replace the floor using quartz bricks. The reason that we're going to use quartz bricks is, number one, I like the texture, I like the block a lot, but the purpose of it is that it's a very, very light block. As opposed to all of the surrounding, like, darkness, it kind of just contrasts very, very nicely. And we're going to make the ceiling very dark as well. We're actually going to be using dark, grey concrete for it. I was about to call it dark grey concrete for some reason, but I guess it's light grey concrete, so I suppose it is dark grey concrete in comparison. But anyway, quartz bricks. That's going to be the floor. And then we're going to have the grey concrete for the ceiling. And after that, we can start laying down some of the structure for the inside of our modern Pizza Hut, which I'm looking forward to because I actually like the interior for it as well quite a bit. So let's get all of this done. And then we can figure out where the roof's going to be. It shouldn't be too hard to figure it out. It's relatively simple. So now that we have done that, we have laid the floor down, we want to place the grey concrete in front of, or above I should say, the black concrete ceiling line. So where we have the windows here with the black concrete frame above them, that's where the grey concrete wants to go. It's probably a less confusing way of saying it, instead of just throwing a word out there like ceiling line. So that's where we're going to be placing all of the grey, and then this is going to compact the area that we have to fill in. And it will just make it look a little bit, I don't know, it'll just make it look a lot less messy. So let's get all of this. Perfect. So, next up, what are we doing? We are going to make the counter and toilet area. So, the counter space is literally, we leave a gap of 1 from this grey concrete here, and then we place a row of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red concretes, extend up by 2, 1, 2, left 2, 1, 2, down 2, left, and then we are going to join to this wall. Just like this. So that's perfect. And then we're going to join all of these red concretes. The red concretes on the left, by the way, I should say. We're going to join all of these just upwards like this. So that's perfect. And then this is going to account for the counter space. This is the toilet. And then left here, but I'm starting to think that we might have to extend the restaurant out a little bit. Just to accommodate a little bit more space, because it does seem a little bit scarce there. Or maybe would it be possible for us to restructure the restaurant a little bit? Hang on a second. I have decided that that is a problem for later. So we are going to add terracotta. Let's pretend that never happened. We're going to add terracotta all the way behind the counter space area here. And then we're going to divide this area up a little bit. We're going to add a vertical row of grey concrete here on the left, leave a gap of 2, and then we're going to have another vertical row of grey concrete just like this. And then we are going to add just a couple of light grey concretes just at the top. This is just in between, and maybe here as well, just in between the top 2 rows there. We can also add an iron trap door here on the right. So this is basically just half a row above where we have the terracotta just on the end. And now we're going to start laying out some of the seating structure for the inside of our Pizza Hut. So the way that we are going to do this is we are going to place kind of like tables, kind of like where the windows are here. So, or maybe like we'll line it up with where we have the black concrete here. So I think what we'll do is from where we have this black concrete, we'll leave a gap of 1, and then we'll have an end rod, 1 to the left, and then let's grab black concrete. So black concrete, and then we'll place a black concrete to the left, a couple of end rods, and then we'll extend the black concrete backwards, and we'll place smooth quartz stairs behind the end rods, red concretes behind the stairs and the black concretes, and we'll extend the red concrete upwards towards the ceiling, which will give us this. And then on the opposite side here, we'll basically have the same thing. Like we'll have a couple of sets of stairs on each side with end rods in front. We'll have a dividing row of black concrete that extends out, and then we can place some black stained glass pane in between the seats. So just like this. So it's kind of like a little divider, and it'll just look kind of cool. So here, here, and here. And we can stick some end rods for end rods. We can stick some iron trap doors on top of the end rods who look like tables. I'm in the mood for these this little table design. I think it looks kind of cool in here. So here and here as well. That's looking pretty good. I also kind of want to lay out the structure of the salad bar as well whilst I'm at it. So the salad bar is tucked away in the corner here. And I think that we're going to start off by extending out this row of grey concrete here with red concrete in front. We're going to extend the red concrete over. We're going to have a bunch of cauldrons in the back here. So this is just for the salad bar, like this. And then some glass pane in front, well, on top of the red concrete in front like this. And I think that we're also going to, we could highlight the salad bar using some sea lanterns. So this will provide a little bit of light, so up above. And then throw some red concrete in front of it, and boom, there we go. Nice little simple salad bar. If we stick some item frames in front of the grey concretes up at the top, then we can chuck some salad related things in there. I want to create a table as well, so the table, what do I want to use? I might use black concrete for it. So lining it up with the edge of the salad bar here, I want either a double row, let's have a double row table. So 2 black concretes, smooth quartz stairs in front, end rods in front, iron trapdoors on top. So either black concrete, yeah, maybe black concrete, and then would it look silly to have some black stained glass pane? Just, again, I'm just looking to divide the area up a little bit. It's either like adding a little bit of glass pane, or it's adding like a bit of terracotta with some leaves on top of it. Would also be possible as well, because I want a bit of colour in here, like it's a little bit bland for my liking. I'm just going to quickly grab these leaves just to test it out. It's a little bit bland for my liking, you know, so something like that would look pretty cool. I quite like that. It's not uncommon to have these areas separated through leaves. So I also want to decorate these seating areas a little bit as well. This is just going to be with paintings. I'm going to use either 2 1x1s or 1 2x1, just above where we have the little seating areas here. And that will just, again, we're just looking for some colour. So the 1x1s are great. I like sticking both those together, but also the 2x1s or the 1x2s, however you want to say it, look good as well. If you're looking for a little bit more light, then we can place lanterns in some choice places. So anywhere that we have these, is that right? That looks right, yeah. Anywhere that we have the separations between the windows, although I'd be tempted to get rid of this one. Put one here, and then it's kind of like in the middle of this column, which I really like. I think that looks pretty cool. And then, originally, I had an ice cream machine or a drinks machine, right? And we could still have it, but it was stuffed away in this corner, and I didn't like that. It looked a little bit weird, but what if we kind of like, I mean, we could extend the bathroom. That's also a very real possibility. Let's kind of like assimilate all of this. What if we had like some upside down smooth quartz stairs? And then I guess it's up to you whether you want, like, you could have a drinks machine or you could have an ice cream machine. So an ice cream machine, very easy to make. It's made in a similar manner, so let me show you. So on top of this smooth quartz stairs here, we're going to place a pointed dripstone because it looks like an ice cream cone, and a flower pot to the right because that could quite easily be just like a pot to have an ice cream in. Lever on the wall, tripwire hook, couple of light blue concretes at the top here, and then item frames here, and then we could have just a couple of colours of ice cream. It'd be good if we had 3 because that'd really solidify the fact that it's actually an ice cream, but like, I guess like pink and brown. Like, I'd like the Neapolitan, meaning pink, brown, and yellow would look perfect, but I really like how that look. I really like how this looks. I like it a lot better. The original design, like I said, like we had, we walked up here and we had drinks machine and the ice cream machine, but this seems to fit so well. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to leave it. So inside here, originally was a toilet, but it could easily be a storeroom as well, and it could also take you outside the back of your Pizza Hut. But let's stick to the original plan. So we'll turn it into a toilet. So let's use black concrete for this actually, and let's grab a lantern because it's really dark in here. We'll stick it there. So we'll have a couple of rows of black concrete here. This will be the separation for the toilets. We'll have upside down smooth quartz stairs. Those will be toilets. We'll place iron trap doors on top. We don't have any doors on us, but that's okay. And we could even use cauldrons for the toilets as well if you like, but we'll leave it at that. And then we can have a cauldron with again, we'll kind of stick with the black concrete here, and we'll use the cauldron for the sink. So we'll have a tripwire hook, and then on the wall we'll just have a smooth quartz stairs, and that can be like a hand dryer. And is there anything that we can kind of stick on here? I mean, a lantern. No, I guess what maybe some like a weighted pressure plate here would look just fine as well. That's pretty cool. And then we've just got like that's a really simple toilet, a really simple bathroom. I really like that. And if you do want to, as I said, kind of like go even further, couple of oakwood doors here, that'll be just fine, and then we'll stick one there too. Guys, I really love this design so much more, honestly. I really like this. This feels perfect to me. Anyway, so behind the counter space, it's so funny because you guys don't know what the original design looked like, so I keep going on about it and you're like, huh? So on the counter I want to have a smooth quartz stairs, weighted pressure plate, and then like whatever, you know, like it doesn't really matter what you put. Like you could have a lantern here, or you could have what looks like a pizza box. Does anything kind of look like a pizza box? Like, do any of the trapdoors kind of look like a pizza box? Like, not really, right? I mean, as close as you could get, maybe a birch trapdoor, or maybe like the crimson trapdoor. So maybe if we put like a crimson trapdoor here or something, maybe that might look good. Pots always look like something, so we can have like a pot here, and we'll just leave that at that. So behind this area here, we want to have a furnace, a couple of furnaces, some andesite. So in this space here, a couple of furnaces, some andesite stairs in front. We want to have, actually we're going to place that trap door just half a row higher, so just up above here it will just look like a shelf of some sort. We need a brewing stand, we need some black concrete, we're going to use paintings as well, so the brewing stand will go here. This is a little bit dark actually as well, so maybe I will light this up. So I can always place the black concretes here, and then I can grab the sea lanterns. So in front of the light grey concretes, I can place that, and then we can have sea lanterns behind, and then that will provide us a good amount of light now. And the point of the black concretes was always just to kind of like be an order menu of sorts. So there we go, that's kind of like perfect. And I don't think I want to do anything else to the... Oh, we need to fill these item frames and these cauldrons in with stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean like carpets. I'm going to grab a couple of carpets, one green and one orange, and I'm going to place them on top of the cauldrons to look like something's in there, you know? And then to fill in the item frames, I mean anything that looks... any sort of salad related really. So like, I mean, you could even grab honeycomb, that sort of resembles something. I mean, what doesn't, I mean, what sort of like looks like, where are the berries and stuff? I think they're over here somewhere. Here we go, this is better. So some like glow berries would look good, some sweet berries. I mean, even a fern or something, you know. I mean, if we place glow berries, sweet berries, and ferns in here, then it looks like different salad stuff. It looks kind of cool, in my opinion. And in finishing that, ladies and gentlemen, we've kind of finished the whole project. So this is what your modern Pizza Hut will look like once it has been 100% fully completed. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it helps me and the channel out very much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for more. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope that you guys have a good day, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!